Hello. For those of you who don't know, hello, I'm Toonsy, the creator of CPLL and the owner of this server. And today will be my last message out this place. Firstly, I just want to genuinely apologize for everything that was mentioned in the exposure document. However, I do have my own side of things. Secondly, no matter to whoever I'd hurt in the past, I'm sorry for everything. I wish you the best of luck with whatever you're working in, and I hope you live well. Being one. The Neodrama. Yes, I did hide my thoughts from him, and yes, I feel genuinely awful for myself. Me and him would go on VCs constantly to talk about the project. However, I will admit that during time passing, I grew exponentially tired of CPLL. This was during my episode 3 phase. And I've had multiple times in my life, most of which being related to all of this, where I can never speak my mind negatively to people. I've done this with Neo, Narpy, Paint, and Spades. And that is usually the cause of many problems. It stopped me from talking about my feeling to Neoski. And it was so far in when I finally decided to say how I thought CPLL was being bloated out of proportion. Neoski worked really asterisk hard on FOCD, and I just was too afraid to tell, because I knew all his hard work was for nothing. Then there's the drama and the staff chat with the VRs and mods. Dude, I have told many people this, that all happened whilst I was sleeping. I didn't nor couldn't control any of that stuff. Equal. Now for the Narpy and Paint situation. I met Narpy in a stage VC about Bendy and the Dark Revival, and during which we pretended that Bendy was our kids and we were the parents. Fro meant I remember. I asked if she was comfortable with the husband and wife jokes. She said they were. Apparently they were lying according to the document. We then decided to DM each other, slowly growing more fond of each other, and I started developing feelings for her. This was before I even met Paint and before I knew Yui's feelings. And we both shortly fell in love. However, this all happened right after a breakup of mine, so I decided to wait on it. Then I met Paint Freak. Heavy reminders that I am literally incapable of speaking my mind when it comes to negativity. It takes months for me to say anything, or I'll just not say them at all. And I will admit, it was awful for me to do what I did, as in fall in love with 3 people, flirt with them, and be suggestive towards them. I have all to blame, and I'm deeply sorry for everything. Paint was a charmer, and they sphere sweet and kind towards me, just like Narpy was, and I started to develop feelings for her too, whilst liking Narpy. I didn't know what to do during this, as I knew I couldn't date 2 at once, obviously. That's weird, and once again I was too afraid to speak my own mind, making me keep my mouth shut. So I just went along with it, knowing it'd end in a train wreck. I had already known Yui for a while. I met them with the rest of the VRs, and it was the most inconvenient timing when I learned that they had feelings for me for a while. And so I then realized that I had 3 people, and I was too overwhelmed and scared of what to do that I just kept my mouth shut. Then on Valentine's Day, me and Yui got together. I was horrified to know what the others thought and what could have happened. And it definitely did happen, that's for sure. I just want to say that I am dreadfully sorry. I take all accountability for my actions, and I deserve what will come. Then there's the situation with me and Cretin. This one is really on the nose, so I'll explain in another message. I was once in a friend group, 2 years ago at least, and it was very toxic. Like make fun of cancer levels of toxic. They made fun of Technoblade's death for reference here. And they had forced me to put on my soundboard the Ronnie suicide audio. And they forced me to do it otherwise. This is something I deeply remember. We'll never be friends with you again, and we'll leave you. I was 12, turning 13 at the time, and I was ultimately too afraid to deny them because I wanted friends a lot. So I added it to my soundboard. Eventually, around a year later, they all ditched me last second, and I had forgotten about the soundboard. Until a month or so ago, me, Cretin, and another guy was in a VC, until Cretin brought up Ronnie, I forget why, until it sparked in me to just blurt out, I have that audio on my soundboard. It sounded bad. We talked about it very concerningly, and they sounded like they dropped the case given that I deleted it from my soundboard when they told me to. I then learned they told Unknown and Paint, getting me banned and then leaving me forever. I was told by Unknown about the case, and they said they didn't want anything to do with me or CPLL. I decided to kick them out of the server, which was heavily immature for me, and I apologized to those three that I kicked out for the period of time.